Hi, healthy, happy, and hot. Happy to see you guys again. Okay, so here's the deal. This is the ab video that I wanted to put together for you guys. And there's 27 different exercises. Here are these forms that I gave you. This would be in week 4. Okay, so lower body core, I gave you 3 different sheets that have 9 workouts each. Remember with abs, we're going to do 3 times a week abs. Choose 3 exercises, any of these, and do 5 to 25 reps of each exercise, 3 sets. Okay, so that's your instruction for your abs. I'm going to go through each one of these to give demonstrations and to offer modifications. And in addition, I'm going to have to stand up and sit down here, so bear with me on the camera, but we'll start on the floor. So the first page starts with crunches. That's the page I'm going to go over first, okay? So there's quite a bit of instruction on this sheet that you can read, so I'll be repeating myself on some of this stuff, but I thought you might like the opportunity to actually see what it would look like. So first exercise is crunches. I'm going to turn this way. With crunches, you have your feet here, okay, bent knee, flat on the ground, hands go behind the head. Remember, when you put it behind the head, you're just placing the fingertips on the back of the head or the base of the neck here, and you're not pushing. They're just gently supporting you. You want to look where the ceiling meets the wall up in front of you. That's kind of your placement for your eyes and your head. And if you had an orange, it would fit right here underneath your chin. That's the space. So you don't want to be here, and you don't want to be too far back. It's kind of right in here, okay? And for crunches, we just crunch up and back down, that 2-2 count. Up for 2, down for 2. Exhale on exertion. Now, where am I feeling it? I'm feeling it right here. Okay, so these are my lower abs. This is more my upper ab with a crunch, okay? Up and down. Up and down. That's a crunch, okay? The second exercise, called a double crunch, is where you're going to bring the lower body and the upper body into it. So if we start here, if I'm doing a double crunch, now I'm engaging my lower abs as well. So as I crunch up, I'm also bringing my legs up and crunching, and then back down, toes to the ground, up, and back down, okay? Up, and back down. So I'm engaging both my upper and my lower abs at the exact same time. All right, exercise 3. I'm going to try to get through this because there are 27 exercises, guys, and I don't want the video to be too long for you. If there's something that I explained that you still have questions about, make sure you post in the group and let me know or give me an email, okay? Side oblique crunches. So when we do obliques, we work one at a time. Obliques are these side muscles here. So in this particular case, there's a couple different ways you can do it. But normally what I do is I take that lower arm, I place it down here on my hip. I've got my knees bent, and I'm just going to crunch. It's a very small movement. So crunch here and up. You're coming straight up. I'm feeling it right through here. The other option is to put the hand out in front of you. Okay, that makes it just a little bit easier, and you can push up a little bit. A modification for this one is to actually pull the hand up above if you don't need the support on the back of your head. And you can pull up the knee. Okay? So those are some options for oblique crunches. I'm just going to show that on the left side as well. Again, you want to start out with this hand over on this side. Support the head gently back behind here. Very small movement, crunch. Make sure that you keep, what's going to happen when you do that crunch is you're going to have the tendency to want to bring your legs up. In this case, keep the legs down, crunch. Very small movement, guys. Okay? Remember, you can put the arm out front here if you want. That helps you push off just a little bit more. So you can go a little bit higher, but you're actually using the arm a little bit to do it. And then the next modification again was to bring the knee up. Make sure you're breathing out. Up for 2, down for 2. Okay, oblique crunches. The next one is a standing. So let's see, you might not see my head here. Let me move the camera. Okay, guys. So I love this actually. I love standing abs. This is called cross body crunch. So basically you're just standing, you put your hands up just like you are going to be laying on the ground doing that crunch. And then you're pulling one leg up and across and crunch. So I'm just kind of pointing my toe down here, just barely touching the ground, putting most of my weight on this supporting leg. Try not to lean too much. Try to stay upright. And then you're going to cross, touch the knee to elbow. Okay? So that's a good crunch option with standing. You can switch sides. You can do them side to side, alternate, or do them all on one side like I'm doing here. But if I started to alternate, I would step over here, step over here. Again, this isn't a cardio move, so we're not doing it fast. We're not doing a high impact. We're just crunching those abs. Okay, next exercise is, I love this one. It's a lying oblique reach. I feel like this is it's a great beginner move, but at the same time, you can use it forever and you'll still get great results. So, lying on your back, just like you're gonna do a crunch. Make sure you guys can see me. And actually, with this one, your hands are down here, so a little bit more advanced because you have to work up to getting your neck strong enough to be able to hold it, okay? But an option, if you're just starting out, is just to do one side at a time and have the opposite arm holding the head ever so slightly, okay? So if we were going to start just right side, what I'm doing is I'm reaching for those toes. Flat back, neck's up off the ground, shoulders are up off the ground slightly, and I'm just reaching for those toes. If I switch sides, it's over here. Remember, if you do them one side at a time, do the number of reps you're going to do on both sides. So if you're doing 10, do 10 to the right, 10 to the left. Again, as you get a little bit stronger and you start to build up those neck muscles, you can put both arms down and you can go right, left, right, left. Okay? That's a great one. That engages really the full abs, not deep down into these lower muscles, but it engages the full abs and the obliques all at the same time. I love it. Okay, guys, the next one, flutter kicks. This is another awesome one. A lot of people do flutter kicks wrong, so I really want to make sure you guys get your form correct on this. Flutter kicks are a great exercise for the lower abs, which I personally think are a little harder to get to. And you need to be working both upper, lower, and obliques. But with flutter kicks, you get those. We've talked about levers before, and when you add levers to an exercise, you're making it a little bit more advanced. So with flutter kicks, the legs are straight out from the body. The key to a flutter kick is that you need to support the lower back. If you try to just keep your hands out here and do a flutter kick, my abs are engaged, but I'm feeling a ton of tension in my lower back. So what I have to do here is put my hands underneath my tush. Make sure you guys can see this. And I'm going to lay my bottom right down into my hands, okay? Then I put my legs out, and I should feel support to where now I can flutter, 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 and I can hold it. So for our counts, let's say you're going to do 10. Each foot is 1 rep. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. You can count. Remember we said all the way up to 25 reps. That's your flutter kick. Moving on, jackknife. Okay, I personally love the jackknife. It took me a long time to work up to where I did love the jackknife, but the jackknife is a really cool move. It is an advanced move, however, and so I will show you some modifications and ways to actually work up to a jackknife. So first of all, I'm going to show you a full jackknife. A jackknife is a full ab, upper body, lower body movement. Okay, so we start out with the jackknife stretched out as far as we can. I also love the stretch. So toes to fingertips stretched out. And with a jackknife, we're going to do exactly what it says. We're going to come up, same time, reach for the toes, and we just done a jackknife. Okay? Down and up. This is a very advanced move. Again, guys, I had to work up to this. Ooh, lost that one. Here we go. Okay. So I will say when I do jackknives, I don't do a ton of reps of those. So if that was, I'd probably do 5 to 10 for my reps. Do 3 exercises, come back to it, 5 to 10 again for my next set. So I can't do a lot. I can't do 25 of those in a row, just to let you know. So if you want to move up to a jackknife, a couple different ways you can do it is you can actually just practice coming up and leaving the feet so you're not actually out here, so leaving them solid, coming back down. That gets that upper body part of it. Hands are straight out. Okay, and then to make it just a little bit more advanced, you can just pull those feet off the ground. So you're not doing the full motion, but you're just sitting here, okay? Adds a little bit of lower body. Hold. Hold. Okay, so those are a couple movements that you can use to gradually move into a jackknife. The other thing you can do, if you want to start, so you have this lower position here, rather than a full extension with arms full up and legs fully out, you come up, but it's into a ball, and then out. So we take out those levers, but we're still getting the abdominal motion of the exercise and working our way up to where we have those long extended levers. So if you want to have some fun, you want to challenge yourself, you want to see some really good results in your abs, jackknives, moving up to doing jackknives is a really good way to do it. Knee-ups, leg pull-ups, it's called a leg pull in knee-ups. This is basically a modified version, a little bit of what we just did, and a really good way to work your lower abs. That's a little bit more of a modified exercise, okay? So you're putting your hands here, supporting your lower back, supporting the weight of your body. Feet come up, and you just go out and drop down. There's your lever. Bring it back up. Out and drop down. Bring it back up, okay? Leg pull in, knee up. There you go, guys. That's a great one. If you want to make that move a little bit more advanced, you can do it with no support. So you're here, pull in, here, pull in. So as you start to get stronger, feel more advanced, you can move up to those. Plank, we've talked about in a couple of videos, just really quickly. A plank, again, there's a couple different ways you can do it. You can do it from your elbows. You can do it with a straight arm. There are tons of variations of plank. Plank is a great exercise for the core muscles. It works your lower back. It works your abdominals. I will say probably plank is one of the exercises that I hear people complain about the most and say, I just hate planks. You hate planks because you're expecting too much of yourself too early on. The key to getting really good at planks is to make it a very gradual growth process. So if you're one of those people that's like, I hate planks, I absolutely despise them, start off just asking 10, 15, 20 seconds, maybe 30 seconds max of yourself being in the plank position. You also have modified planks, which can help you move up. So guys, there's no move that you can do that you can't do some modification of it to work yourself gradually up into it. So if you're discouraged about a move or you hate a move, that probably means you should do it more, but you need to have a modification that'll let you have some growth and development to move into it. So the plank, a full arm plank is here. Key with plank, guys, you can see I have a very straight, my spine is all in alignment, all the way down to my tailbone from the top of my head. A lot of people with planks start to put their butts up as they get tired, and you don't want to do that, okay? So I'm here. Another modification of a plank is to come down to your elbows, excuse me, okay? So one thing I think is a good tip on planks is a lot of people, when they do planks this way, they grab their hands and they go like this. That's fine, but it will actually make it easier. To make it just a little bit more challenging, put the hands straight out from the elbows, okay? And we're holding here. Keep that butt down. Don't come up. Keep that butt down. Okay? Modification is just to put the knees down. So if you have to, you start here. Knees are down. But the key to this modification is you want your abs tight, because you could go into this motion and not keep your abs very tight. So the key is focus on those abs. Pull them tight. Again, modification with the knees. Straight arm. Remember, with this straight arm, you want your wrists and your hands directly below your shoulders, and you're just holding it here. Again, just like I talked about with push-ups and things like that, as you're getting the plank down, Let's say you're going to challenge yourself to do 25 seconds for your first rep, okay? For your first rep of plank. So let's say you're going to challenge yourself to do 25 seconds. I encourage you to start out in a full plank, not modified, okay? You're in that full plank. Let's say you could only hold it for 5 seconds before you need to drop down to a modified. That's fine. Still start out, because otherwise what you're doing is you're doing modified for a period of time, and then you're like, oh, maybe I can do 5 seconds of a real plank, and you give it a try. I want you to do the real plank first, do it to exhaustion, then take it down to a modified. And then what you'll have happen over time is you may only hold it for 5 seconds that first week. Maybe the second week you realize you can hold it for 10 seconds or almost 10 seconds. So you'll see your growth and development better, okay? Okay, that's the first sheet, guys. Moving on to the next one, full sit-ups. Okay, so the questions I've had about full sit-ups are, can I hold, like put my feet underneath something to hold them? You absolutely can, and if you're first starting out and that's the only way you can get up from a full sit-up, you can do that. However, I will say when you put your feet underneath something or you have someone hold your feet to do sit-ups, you're using less of the intended muscle. So it still works, but it's a little bit of cheating because it's actually engaging other muscles. It's allowing you to use your legs rather than your abs, which is what the sit-up is intended for. So it's kind of your judgment call. But just know that that's the key. I'd rather have you do less without support on your legs than do more with somebody holding your legs or with your feet underneath something. However, I do understand that some people, that's a good modification for them to get started. So if that's the case for you, go for it. I don't do a ton of full sit-ups, to be perfectly honest. There's so many other abs exercises that I like. But when I do sit-ups, I put my hands in front, not behind. They're across my chest. I roll all the way down. And the key is to come all the way up, and then I touch my elbows to my knees. That's my full sit-up, okay? So roll all the way down. And a lot of people, there's a lot of programs and stuff that will do full sit-up testing as a way to see what kind of shape you're getting in, and they have you doing them really fast. I'm a 2-2 count girl, up for 2, down for 2. Breathe through it, make sure my mind is in the muscle. That's what I want to see in a sit-up. So down for 2, up for 2, knees, down for 2, up for 2. Okay, so that's my full sit-up. Next one, weighted Russian. They call it a Mason twist. I call it a Russian twist. I love these. You can do these without weight or you can use weight. Just use a little 5-pounder here. I could do much heavier weight, as could you probably, but just to demonstrate and to give you a starting point. Russian twist has 2 options. You can keep your feet flat on the ground, just like I have here, or you can pull them off, and that's a little bit more advanced. You can see I have to kind of hold here just to stay tight with my feet off the ground. And the movement with the arms is actually to twist side to side. Again, you don't have to have a weight to be here, but this is a really good exercise to work those obliques, work upper and lower abs. So this is what it looks like without my feet in the air, with my feet in the air, a little more advanced, down, down, touching that weight to the ground. Okay, Russian twist. Windshield wipers. This is a great exercise, not only for working your abs, but also I feel like it's a really good exercise for stretching your abs. So, looks like this. Lay flat on your back. Arms are straight out from your shoulders, nice and wide. Can you guys see me? Yep. Okay, bring the feet up, bent knee, and you're just going to drop to one side, and then use those abs to lift, not your back, your abs, okay? So mind and the muscle on this one. But it also stretches out that lower back. So if you want to pause at the bottom and just hold and stretch a little bit, great. Then lift it up. Remember, once to each side is 1 rep. So 1 and 1. So this is when we're really, the mind and the muscle, guys, focusing into those lower abs is really, really key, but it's a great stretch as well. So, medicine ball wood chops. These are a great standing ab. Okay. You can use a medicine ball. I don't have medicine balls really here in my gym. I have this really small one. That's an option, but I would probably want to use much heavier weight. But you can also use kettlebells for these, or you could use a dumbbell. So a wood chop is just like it sounds. It's kind of like chopping wood, but we do it across our body. So we pull up. If I go back a little further so you guys can see, pull up, and then chop across the body. Up, chop across the body. As I'm chopping across the body, you see my knees bend just a little bit. Chop. And just curious, watching this, guys, where do you think I'm working? Not only do I work this oblique when I come up, but I work this oblique when I come down. Chop. So if you look at me from the side, I'm going back a little bit of an arch, and then I'm chopping. Okay, so you can see that movement. I'm coming across my body. That is a great standing ab. I absolutely love it. So, all right. Another standing ab is the standing dumbbell kettlebell. I don't even know the name for this actually, but it's in the middle of your page, your second page. Standing dumbbell kettlebell side bends, I guess. I have a tendency to use really heavy weight for this. This is 30 pounds. If you're just beginning, you're not going to want to start with that much weight. You can also hold a dumbbell. You can also do this with resistance bands, okay? So you can put your resistance bands under your feet, hike them up so you have tension, so as you pull, you feel the tension. Lots of options on this one, lots of modifications. So I do these, you can hold two weights if you have two of the same size weight and go just side to side, but otherwise I focus on one side. So right now I'm focusing on the side that my weight is in, and I'm gonna let it pull me down, and then I'm gonna pull back. So I actually feel it here as it pulls me down, and then I pull with this side to pull me back. So down and up. Just sliding my hands down the side of my legs. So right now, I'm working right side. I'm actually going to feel it in both, but I'm going to do, if I'm going to do 10, let's say, reps of this one, I'll do 10 reps switching it into the other hand as well. So I'm not counting today, but now I do 10. So squeeze, let it bring me down. Squeeze, let it bring me down. Okay? That is probably my favorite standing ab exercise. I incorporate that every single week. Okay, the last one is a kettlebell around the world. This is also standing, and actually I'm going to use a 30-pound again. You may not want to use one that's this heavy, but basically this motion is just about strengthening core, because you're going to take that kettlebell and you're going to swing it around your body. And you're going to hold yourself very straight. Try to keep yourself in place. Okay? So however many reps you're going to do is how many rounds of body that you do. And then I'm going to ask that you take it in the opposite direction. Okay? So if I did 10, I'll do 10 this way. Now, really quickly to the side, I want you guys to watch what happens. This is a pretty heavy weight. So, start with whatever weight feels comfortable for you. Losing my ponytail, I just realized. Okay, guys, so it's around. Now you can see I'm holding that core really tight. I'm not letting my body swing to get it around me. I'm keeping it really nice and straight. And it's all about pulling all these muscles really tight to get through that, okay? That's another good standing one. A little bit simpler. The lighter the weight you go, the easier it will be. Okay, cable core rotation. This is a difficult one to do unless you have cables, but you can also do it. It's going to be difficult for me to demonstrate this. I am not sure if you guys can see. So I have hold on. Sorry, guys. I have a kickboxing bag in the corner, right? See it there? So what I'm doing, I'm actually going to use yellow to demonstrate this. This is what you could do at home. There's an actual cable machine at the gym that you can do the same exact exercise, and I highly recommend it, where you have a cable and you're pulling it across your body, okay? But in this case, I'm going to wrap this around. So if you have a pole, like a staircase, some sort of a pole, maybe you have a beam in your basement that you can use. If you have one of the resistance bands that has the tab on it that you can actually put in the seam of a door so that it catches it and you can actually pull, that's another option. I'm going to do it around my kickboxing bag. The one thing about this is that it is a little bit lower, so depending on the height that you want. But basically what I'm going to do is I'm going to hold my hips straight so they're facing you. I've got a hold of it with both hands, but that back hand, that right hand is the one that's really doing most of the work. The one on top here is just support. And I'm going to pull across my body and down. So my arms are not doing the work. Okay, so you see me go like this. I'm not pulling with my right hand. I'm using my abs to rotate. So rotate, and my arms are just coming along with it. Rotate. Okay, so this would be a cable pull. It's an awesome full ab exercise. Okay, the more tension on the band, the more work you'll get into your abs. And of course, then you want to turn around and switch and do the other side. So that's an example of how you can do that one at home. Ab crunch machine. I obviously don't have an ab crunch machine here, guys. I just want to make sure. I will say that the ab machines that are at gyms are not my favorite. They're just not my favorite for working abs. There's just way too many good abs you can do with either no equipment or with stability balls, or there's just so many options that I don't think you really need to use machines that much. However, at the bottom of page 2 on your abs, there is an option for an ab crunch machine. It's basically where you sit in it and then you pull your legs up and your arms forward at the same time to get that crunching here. It's an option. It's there. It does work. I just think there's easier ways to get results. So, but keep it in mind as an option. Next one is a decline bench crunch. So basically what that is the crunch that we just did, the crunches that we did on the floor. Basically your bench is actually tilted downward, so your head is on the downward slope. Your feet, I do love doing these at the gym. I don't have a decline bench press here at my house, so I can't demonstrate these here. However, what I do is put my feet over the edge. It's awesome because they have a little thing that holds your feet so you're nice and secure. You can lay all the way back. And of course, by doing a decline bench press, or I'm sorry, a decline crunch, I'm still on abs. If you can do a decline crunch, you actually get more work by having your head down further. So it is a little bit more of an advanced move. So as you work up and you get stronger in your abs, you want to make it a little more difficult. If you're at the gym or you have a bench at home that you can actually decline and have support for your feet at the end, I highly recommend adding that into your repertoire as you get a little bit stronger, okay? All right, guys, last one. Thank goodness. Oh, sorry. We're almost a half hour in. I apologize this one is so long, but you can just flip through this video and pick and choose as you want. They're in the order that they are on the sheets. So if you're looking for a specific exercise that you want modification or demonstration, just look up in the video where that might be. Okay, another really great one, lying leg raises. Guys, I just realized I have to go pick up my son. So, did you just see that mom look on my face like, I just forgot my son. I didn't forget him. I'm not late. I still have time, but I didn't get through the video. I thought I could get through it in a half hour. So, I gotta go pick up my son. I'll be back to finish out the last section, okay? Go ahead and do some abs. See you guys.